Hello everyone, welcome to our today's workshop that is a knowledge series on outsource rejection handling. My name is Abhishek and I will be conducting this workshop today. So let's begin with. So before we proceed with the outsource rejection part, I would like to present the standard process of managing outsource. So as you can see, the actual standard process of outsource where labor PO must need to be generated in the system. Then outsource dispatch will take place, then receiving against that dispatch, and then last one is the outsource incoming inspection. Okay, so based on this process, if you look at the outsource rejection part, then there is a slight difference to manage the rejection for the outsource. So we are going to see the actual how you're gonna manage the rejection or against the outsource. So if we talk about the type of rejection, then that could be scenario against two different material. First one is the raw material and second one is the in process material. So raw material is the material which you are buying from your purchase supplier, and then you are processing further to either in-house or outsource. And the in process material is the material on which you have been done processes, and then you are proceeding further for the next process, either in-house or outsource. Okay, so now if we talk about the raw material first, so this is my screen for dispatching the material, that is sending the raw material component to my vendor. Now at the time of receiving the material, you have a choice of with and without process receiving. So here I have taken one scenario where the material got returned to your premises without doing any process. Okay, and and we are talking about the raw material. Okay, so if you choose the option as receiving item without process, then you have to mention the job order and the quantity, and based on that, system will receive the actual raw material which got dispatched through the outsource. Okay, so as I mentioned that there is no process, there has been no process has been taken place over the outsource. So it means there is no need to do outsource incoming inspection in this process. So what next action could be? So next action could be returning back the issued material to the store, or returning back the issued material to my actual vendor from which I bought this material. Okay, so first let's talk about the returning back to the store process. So if I'm not sure about the material, what next action to be done, in that case you can return back that issued material to your store. So this is possible through the link name as return of issued material available under the store module. Okay, so once you choose the job order, once you select the job order from the drop down, you can able to return back the raw material to your store department. But if we talk about the returning back to your vendor, like from whoever you have bought this material, like in this example, I bought this material from A1 Raj Forge and Fittings vendor. That's the vendor name. And if I am sure that the material is completely defective, and if I'm sure that this need to be handled, then the purchase is the only department can able to take the necessary action against this material. So in order to pass it on to your purchase department, department must need to pass one entry which is available under the store, that is the line rejection of supplier material. So through this link you can able to pass the issued material to your purchase department. Okay, so as you can see on my screen, as once you select the job order, you will find a list of item which has been issued. Then you will find the supplier name in the drop down. It is only possible if the specific lot, whichever the lot you have been issued, that need to be the purchase lot. Then only it will appear the, then only the supply name will get appear over the screen. And then further purchase department will manage against that rejected part. So I'm not covering that part because it is a part of purchase rejection process. So in order to know in detail, you can able to find it out under the I section, which is on your right hand side and right top corner. Once you click on it, you will find the help menu section, and under that help menu section, as per the module, you will find a list of help manuals in PDF form. Okay, so that's the process to handle the raw material without process, which got returned back to your premises. Now we will talk about the in process material. Okay, so now again we will categorize the in process material in two different form. First one is the with process and second one is the without process. Okay, so let's talk about the without process first. Okay, so now if your material got returned back to your premises without doing any process, then in that case there could be two scenarios where you can able to submit your material to your production team for in-house production, or you can send it back to your new vendor or the old one for the job work. So let's see in detail how it's gonna work. So if we talk about the dispatch, so here I have selected the option as sending in process material, and then I'm sending it back to my outsource vendor for job work. Here, if that material got returned back from my vendor without doing any process due to any reason, then I will choose the option as receiving item without process. I'll mention the quantity and I'll generate the GRM. So as you can see, the material was in process, due to which that the similar item is showing in my on my screen. Now, as there is no process taken place over here, so in this case, there is no need to do outsource incoming inspection. Okay, so in that case, you can able to directly do in-house production. If you want to go with the in-house production, then you can manage it through the production module. Okay, so there are many users using different production link, but here I have taken one example as daily production. But if any of the user are using any other link such as real time one and the or the any other link, then they can able to manage it through that specifically. So here I have taken the example as daily production. So here, if in case any rework in-house production need to be done, then I'll choose the production link, and then I'll proceed with further action plan. But if I want to go with the job work again, then you need to follow the standard process which we have seen at the initial step, where you will create the labor PO first, and then you will follow the standard process, that is the dispatch for outsourcing, and then the regular flow will get work. So that's the part of handling the in process material without process. Okay. So now let's talk about the in process material. But now this time the material got returned back to your premises after having processes. Okay, after doing process. So in this case, again, there are two different scenarios. One is to decide whether to do in-house or whether to manage it from outsource. Okay, so let's see in detail. So if we talk about receiving, so now as per our current example, we have received one item after processing. Okay, so I have chosen the option as receiving item after process, and here I have mentioned the quantity and the job order. Okay, as the process already been taken place, so there is need of outsource incoming inspection. So my next step would be to do inspection for that specific GRN. So inspection will take place, and if in case any rejection take place in outsource incoming inspection, then that same material will get appeared in on my screen on my link name as rejected item handling outsource. So this link you will find under the outsource module. Okay, so whenever any material got rejected in your outsource incoming inspection screen, that material will get appeared in this screen first, and from this screen user can decide whether you want to go with the in-house rework or the outsource rework. So both the options available on your screen, you can decide according to your plan. So now we will discuss first about the outsource rework. So let's say I again want to dispatch the same material to the same supplier or the different one. Then what I'll do, I'll select the line item first, and then on my right hand side there is an option of show. Okay, there is a hyperlink of show. You just have to click on it, and once you click it, system will show you the drop down. System will show you the list of process. Okay, among that process you have to choose the actual one for which the material is going back for the process. And if in case you want to describe any detail about the reworking process, then you can able to describe it by mentioning the process rate and the value. And once you're done with this, you have to click on the send for outsource rework option, and then system will redirect you to the actual outsource screen, that is a dispatch for outsourcing screen, which we have seen at the initial step, which is the standard part of process. And then you can generate the outsource challan. But what if you want to do the in-house rework? In that case, you have to again select that item, and you have to mark that item as plan for in-house rework. Once you mark that plan for in-house rework, system will transfer that item from outsource link to in-house link. So we have a different link available under the outsource module, that is the outsource rejected item handling, that is in-house. Okay, this is a separate link available under the outsource, where you will find a list of item which got marked as plan for in-house. Okay, here if in case you want to revert it back to again if you want to go for the outsource rework, then you can select that same similar item again, and you have to just click on the plan for outsource rework. So in that case, system will take you back to the again the previous screen which we have seen, that is the rejected item handling outsource. But if you want to continue with the in-house rework, then you have to just mention the debit note in the amount, which is only for the reference purpose, which will help your accountant and your team to know how much amount of rejection has been taken place. Okay, once there is nothing to do further, because the next step would be related to the production. Like you have already marked that item as plan for in-house, so directly you have to go back to the main screen, that is the production screen. So whichever the production link you are using, you will find one link as rework option. So that rework is the default option available under the production module. So on selecting that rework option, system will allow you to do the in-house production entry. So whenever the in-house production take place, you can maintain the record by selecting the process as rework. Okay, so this is how you can manage your in process material which got written back from your vendor, and if you plan for the next action plan. So that's my time. Thank you.